Hey there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada, and today I'm here to share with you how to create this card. This card uses several new products from the annual catalog. We're going to use a new stamp set, some new dies, and some new patterned paper. All right, so let's talk about the stamp set and the dies first of all. So the stamp set is ridiculously awesome. Now this is one of the $1 Million Achiever stamp sets. This one was designed by Rhonda Wade. So cute, I love it. And the great thing about this, or one of the great things about this, is not only does it have lots of versatile sayings, but they are nice and big, so they're great for scrapbooking if you are a scrapbooker. Okay, and then I've combined it with the stitched triangle dies. These dies jumped out at me from the new catalog. I think they are going to be great for so many different uses. So this was the first card that I created with them, and I can't wait to see what else I come up with for them. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create my background for these little triangles here. So I'm going to do a watercolor wash. So I've got some shimmer white cardstock. So when you're doing a watercolor wash like this, the best choice for cardstock is either our shimmer white cardstock or our watercolor paper. Because our regular Whisper White cardstock, as great as it is for stamping, when you add a lot of moisture to it, it doesn't hold up very well. Okay, and I'm going to use Coastal Cabana ink, and I've got a little drop of the ink refill that I've kind of put in the lid here. If you don't have the ink refill, what you can do is you can just squeeze the ink pad and it will transfer some ink to the lid, and you can just pull the color from there. Okay, now before I go any further, I'm going to pick out my two triangle sizes. So I want this one and I want this one. So from this collection here, you want the second largest and the third largest. Okay. All right, so this will give me an idea of where I need to put my wash. Now I'm going to use our old aqua painters, which we no longer carry. We carry something now called a water brush. And at the time of filming this, I didn't have my order in with the new water brushes to try. They come in a set of 3 different nibs, I believe. And the price point is really good. So this is just a continuously wet paintbrush. You just unscrew it and fill it with tap water. And I believe the water brushes are the same as well, work the same way. Okay, so I'm going to give this a squeeze because I want this to be really, really moist. So I'm going to give this a squeeze because I want to mix some of that water in with that ink refill. And then I'm just going to color. I'll just keep dipping, and it just depends on how dark you want it. Okay. So that should be, yeah, that looks like it's good enough. Okay, I'll just dab off a little bit of that excess. And then I'm gonna grab a scrap piece of paper so I can get some of that excess off before I go and mix it into another color. So I'm just gonna run it on my scrap paper. You can also use a paper towel. This is just what I had handy, just until there's no color that comes out. And then I'm going to move on to my other color. Now, the color that I've chosen here is Purple Posy, and we do not have a Purple Posy ink pad. So the next closest is Highland Heather. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I just did with the Coastal Cabana, except with the Highland Heather. So this is going to go on here, and then this, I'll do it so that the wider bit is at the top, just to conserve some cardstock here, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Okay, just make sure that's pretty good. It's okay if there's some little white bits showing. I'm not too concerned. It's not about being perfectly even or consistent. I really like that watercolor wash. So all right, so then I will take this over to my die cut machine and cut those out. And then here's the result. Okay, I do suggest that you wait until the ink dries before you cut it as well. Okay, so now I'm going to pull in my other piece, or another piece of Whisper White cardstock. So this is just regular Whisper White. And I've got the greeting, "You got this." Love that saying. I'm going to use some Night of Navy ink and stamp this onto the white. And then that I will fussy cut. So I've got a piece here that's already fussy cut, so you don't need to watch me do that. Set that aside. Okay, so now it's time to start assembling. So my card base is a piece of Purple Posy cardstock that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to use my bone folder, make that nice and crisp. Oh, and I just realized I forgot one of my pieces here. Okay, so we're going to have to cut a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. Let me grab a piece here and my paper trimmer. Okay, so this piece of Whisper White that we're going to attach everything to measures 3 3/4 by 5. And I want there to be just a little bit of a blue border all the way around. So I'm going to cut this 5 1/8 of an inch by 3 7/8. That will give me just like a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, set that aside. And I've got a 1/4 inch strip of some DSP, and this DSP is from the Playing with Patterns paper pack. And I am just going to put a narrow bead of multi-purpose glue all the way down there. So this is cut a 1/4 of an inch by 6 inches, and I'll just trim off the excess. Okay, flip that over, trim off that, and then that will get attached to my Night of Navy layer and that to my card base. I love using the multi-purpose glue because it offers me a little bit of flexibility, so I can move it to adjust it where I need it to be. Okay, and then that's going to go onto our Purple Posy card base, and you'll see that it's got a little bit of a wider border around the edges. Okay, so now we can attach our triangles. So these are going to go kind of like that. So again, I'll use some multi-purpose glue here. And I just want to make sure that I give myself enough room. Okay, so I'll stick that down. And then, you know what, I think we're going to pop this one up using dimensionals. I didn't do that on my original card, but I think that would be nice. I popped up the greeting, so then the greeting on this one will be partly popped up and partly flat. So just like that. So now what I'm going to do, this is going to go on here just like this. So this bit will be flat, and I can pop a dimensional right underneath the word "you" so that that part pops up. Okay, and then I'll just put a little bit of adhesive here. And this can go right like that. Cute. Okay, so we could leave it like this, but I thought it would be really nice to add a few little sequins. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and pick out some of these Purple Posy sequins. So I want 3 of them. There we go. I think that's Purple Posy. That looks a little bit different. Let's try another one. There we go. Okay. So then again, I will just use a little dot of Tombow and adhere these on here. So this is a really quick and easy card, and it really showcases a couple different things. It showcases the fabulous new triangle dies, stitched triangle dies. I think those are going to be incredibly versatile. There is a stamp set that coordinates with it. So you can stamp the image and then cut them out. You could cut them out of patterned paper. You can cut them out of, you can create your own patterns, or you could create a wash just like I did here. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy this video and you are not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, just comment below. I'm happy to answer them. All right, thanks so much for watching.